All right, here we go. Oh.
Beware what you ask, nomad. Curiosity is a charming trait until it is not. Curiosity. Information will be volunteered, not coerced. It will create more questions than it answers.
What is this guy?
When at last their shadow is cast upon the firmament, it will take more than you can possess to bind and silence the screams within your mind.
God damn.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson from Grinding Gear Games. Thank you so much for joining us today as we unveil Path of Exile's 3.13 expansion.
That's
this release
cool.
contains everything you've come to expect from a Path of Exile expansion release. A new challenge league, new skills, new items, metagame rebalances, and an endgame content update which will leave a lasting impact on Path of Exile.
Wow, look at that.
Our team have been very hard at work over the last few months, and
Look
we've
at
got
the
a lot
armor.
of
It's
our
Einar.
sleeves to share with you today. In late 2019, we held our first ExileCon convention.
This
where
was
we
a
announced
really
several
big deal.
projects, including Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile Mobile.
I'm kind of sad I
Throughout
didn't go to
2020,
that.
we developed 4 major expansions: Delirium, Harvest, and Heist, as well as the one we're going to unveil today.
There it is.
We launched on the Epic Games Store and released our Vulkan renderer and a macOS client for Path of Exile. We're really
That's a
proud
lot.
of what we achieved last year under difficult conditions and can't wait to continue the journey with you through 2021, where we expect to reveal much more about Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile Mobile, as well as 4 releases for Path of Exile, including the one you're about to see.
It's a cat.
Thanks again for being here with us. It wouldn't be possible without you.
I know. Good start.
What drives you, Exile? Is it justice?
It's the login
Revenge?
screen.
Honor? No,
Loot.
it is power.
Loot, yeah. Actually, yeah, pretty much.
We felt your deeds,
What the fuck?
felt their shockwaves ripple through the void.
This is cool.
You have our attention.
New bosses, it
Now
seems.
you must keep it.
Oh.
Your limits will be tested. Break them. Do what is thought impossible, and the Atlas will follow.
Wait, this is it's like boss rush? Wait, you're fighting multiple bosses and what the fuck? Oh my god. Wow. 11 new maps. Holy shit. Harvest is coming back. Heist as well. Ritual League. Oh, wow. Oh, not that. I hate that fucking boss. Oh,
Stars
man.
themselves will bear silent witness.
These are, yeah, these are like all different bosses at the same time. Wow. January 15th. Oh, holy shit, that's in like a week. Oh my god.
That's one of my favorite Path of Exile trailers. We've released,
That's
like
badass.
35 trailers so far over the last decade, and I still get shivers watching each new one.
Yeah.
Props to our video guy Eben for great work as usual. So there's a lot to cover based on what we've just seen. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's see it.
In
You're fighting,
2016,
like,
we
multiple
introduced
bosses
the
at the
Atlas
same
of
time,
Worlds,
man.
a
That's
formal
cool.
progression system for Path of Exile's endgame maps that culminated in a pinnacle boss fight against the Shaper.
Yep.
Since then, the War for the Atlas and Conquerors of the Atlas expansions have expanded the Atlas system, introduced new endgame bosses, broadened mechanics,
Conquerors was badass.
added new rewards, and provided more opportunity for mastery of Path of Exile's endgame.
Right.
The Echoes of the Atlas expansion introduces a new pinnacle boss, a new way to fight many map bosses at the same time, 11 new maps to explore, and new endgame rewards to earn.
That's cool.
Just a few map
That
tiers
is
into
cool.
Echoes of the Atlas, you will begin to encounter an NPC called the Envoy. It seems that when the Elder was sealed, its absence didn't go unnoticed. the envoy speaks ominously of new visitors to the Atlas. The first such visitor, and the focus of this endgame expansion, is an entity called the Maven. You'll first encounter the Maven in the boss arena of a map, where she will make the boss encounter more difficult and watch as you do your best to defeat it.
But yeah, she spawns 2 of them. What the fuck?
If you're successful, she'll give you her beacon, which lets you call her to any map in that region, so she can watch more fights.
Oh, so it's like a hard mode for the... Wow. That's cool.
After showing her your boss-killing prowess, she will give you an invitation to her own realm, where she has prepared a special challenge.
I wonder what that is. So this is the boss area, right?
The Maven really wants to push you to your limits and has fabricated copies of the bosses she watched you defeat.
Oh.
This time, however, you'll have to defeat them simultaneously. If you manage to best her challenge, she'll politely ask you to do the whole cycle again, except this time she wants to watch more and tougher fights, and her next challenge will contain 4 bosses, then 5, then 6, and finally 10.
10 endgame bosses at the same time.
If you're persistent and talented, you may even get to fight the Maven herself, in a very difficult boss encounter designed to challenge the strongest and best Path of Exile players.
I look forward to people one-shotting
Completing the Maven's challenges offers the opportunity to acquire some very powerful new rewards, including Atlas passive skill points, craftable watchstones, and even the Maven's Orb.
What does that do?
As you complete the Maven's challenges, you'll earn a new type of passive skill point that can be allocated on a special passive skill tree in that region of the Atlas of Worlds.
Okay.
Each of the Atlas's regions has its own passive tree, and they generally have around 20 nodes to choose from. You can earn up to a total of 10 skill points per Atlas region. Let's check out some of the Atlas passive choices.
Bro, you're gonna need a degree to play this game now.
This branch allows you to focus on Beyond, increasing the amount of experience granted by Beyond monsters, but also allowing you to spawn more Beyond monsters really easily.
Wow.
The Torn Veil notable will drastically increase the quantity of Beyond demons you can encounter.
That's cool.
The Legion branch has a notable passive which increases the amount of time you have to break enemies out, and makes it easier to break them out. It's an example of a skill that you could invest into while you're weak, and then remove it later once you're more powerful.
I see.
And yes, as I implied here, there is an orb that lets you refund Atlas passives.
Of course.
The Incursion branch allows you to more easily get higher tier rooms in the Temple of Axolotl, and helps you make a definitive decision on whether to swap specific rooms. On the
So
Ambush
for
branch,
double
the
corrupting,
Tamper-proof
basically.
notable passive upgrades all strongboxes to be rare and corrupted. This synergizes incredibly well with the Ambush Zana mod or
Gives a shit
Prophecies
about
like
that.
Monstrous Treasure.
Gives a shit
While it
about
prevents
that.
you from re-rolling valuable types of strongboxes,
This is
the
badass.
sheer number of corrupted 6-socket and 6-link items will certainly be tempting.
Wow.
Now let's have a look at the Atlas passive choices available in the Lex Proxima region.
Holy shit.
The Harvest branch can increase your chances of finding a sacred grove, increase its crafting rewards, and make it more likely that you'll encounter a Shavi.
So it's like
We'll
choose your
explain
own
later in the
adventure
presentation
for the different
about how Harvest
expansions
is being
almost.
integrated into the core game in this expansion.
Wow.
The Torment branch can increase item drops from possessed and touched monsters, as well as populating the area with some already possessed monsters. These synergize quite well with the Sextants that guarantee a certain amount of rewards from possessed monsters.
Jesus.
The Delve branch can increase your Soulfight gains, grant more Master Favor, and grant more Nico Master missions. The Soulfight Infusion notable passive grants Soulfight for defeating map bosses, regardless of whether the area has Nico present.
Oh my
This
god.
means that you'll be constantly gaining Soulfight for every map you do in a region, which is a great strategy if you're not already using Soulfight Scarabs aggressively. There are also Breach passives, which increase your chances of encountering a breach and ramp up the difficulty and rewards of your breaches.
Jesus, dude.
Naturally, new endgame content means new endgame rewards.
Alright, let's see what are the
Watchstones are an
items.
endgame item that can be placed in the Atlas of Worlds to
Oh, you
upgrade
can
a
make
region's
these
map
now.
tiers and add new base maps to that region. There are 2 types of existing
Okay.
watchstones. Quest item ones that can upgrade a region and can't be traded between players, and unique ivory watchstones that provide special bonuses and can be traded. These unique ones are consumed after a number of maps are run.
Yeah. Are
The
there going to
Echoes
be
of
more
the
of
Atlas
those?
expansion introduces 3 new types of craftable watchstones: titanium, chromium, and platinum. Like regular watchstones, these never expire,
Okay.
but unlike regular watchstones, they can be traded and crafted.
Oh.
They are found quite late in your progression through the Atlas. The eventual goal is that you replace all of your base quest item watchstones with the new craftable ones over time as you upgrade your Atlas. Each of these 3 types of new watchstone has its own special mod pool, but there's also a shared mod pool that they all draw from. Like flasks, they can only be normal or magic. You can't find or craft rare watchstones.
Oh my god.
Because you can have up to 4 watchstones socketed in a region, up to 8 mods can affect that region, and some quite large bonuses to specific content can be stacked. When combined with the Atlas passive trees, these really allow you to optimize what content you encounter and the rewards from that content.
Holy shit.
The Maven's Orb is an endgame crafting currency item that can only drop from the Maven herself.
This is the endgame
It allows
boss.
you to craft influence modifiers when 2 or more are present on an item by removing one modifier and upgrading another. When upgrading an influence modifier of the current highest tier, it upgrades to a new elevated tier that can have additional properties.
What the
This
fuck?
foul regalia has 2 Crusader influence modifiers on it. The percentage increased intelligence 1 and the physical damage taken as lightning damage 1.
Right.
When we apply a Maven's Orb to it, it randomly removes one of these mods and upgrades the other one to become an elevated influence mod. In this case, it upgraded the increased intelligence mod to also have +1 to the level of socketed intelligence gems. The other influence mod was removed. This opens up a mod slot, of course, so it's now possible to add another mod to it. Let's YOLO exalt it for good measure. Maven's Orb crafting is only going to be performed by the upper echelons of elite players, and pushes the boundaries of the best items that are possible
This
in
is
Path of
super
Exile.
neckbeard stuff.
One of the things that players look forward to in an endgame Path of Exile expansion
11
is new
new
maps to play.
That's insane.
In Echoes of the Atlas, we have added 11 new types of maps to the Atlas
I
of
like
Worlds,
that.
covering a wide variety of environments. And of course, each comes with its own challenging boss
shit,
fight.
man.
Let's have a look at 4 of these new tile sets.
It's more complicated than WoW systems. Yeah, this makes BFA look like a joke, man. So this is one of the new map bosses right here. I wonder which one of these abilities, with mobs, will have abilities that are hard to see that kill you in one hit. I wonder which one. Probably like half of them. It's usually what happens to me. Yeah, see? Just like that. All 11? Yeah. Next league, I'm going Righteous Fire, no matter what.
So the environment art tile set
No matter
and level
what,
design
I'm going
teams
Righteous
working
Fire.
on them have been doing so much work on Path of Exile 2 recently. And it's not just the 4 maps that we showed you here. There
Yeah.
are 7 other new maps with their own bosses to discover
That's
in-game
fucking
in this
cool.
expansion.
So this is the boss?
Whenever we release a new quarterly Path of Exile update, we start a new challenge league. These are essentially a fresh server to play on for that expansion launch, where players explore the new league mechanics, rush to conquer the new economy, race to level 100, and try to get the best items before their friends.
Yeah.
The challenge league being released alongside Echoes of the Atlas is the Ritual League.
Okay.
In the Ritual League, you'll discover several mysterious altars in each area you explore. Slay the monsters at the ritual site and then activate the altar to initiate the ritual. When it begins, you'll be enclosed within the ritual circle and will have to face off against both the onslaught of monsters you've just slain and also the specific powers of that altar.
Oh, Spinny Boys,
Each
okay.
subsequent ritual in the area will summon all the monsters from the previous ones, so the difficulty and reward ramp up as you challenge yourself with each successive ritual.
That's badass. I'm liking
Monsters
this.
you kill after you have activated a ritual grant you points called Tribute. At the end of each ritual, you'll have an opportunity to spend this tribute on various reward items. These items vary greatly in power and cost, so you may find you can afford several cheaper ones or one more valuable one. For clarity, tribute doesn't transfer between game areas. As you complete subsequent rituals in the same area, more potential rewards will be revealed, which can be very expensive. If you can't afford to purchase a reward outright, you can spend a portion of its cost to defer it until later. This means that it will show up in a later area at a reduced price. Items can be deferred multiple times until you can eventually afford them, and for some of the most valuable rewards in this league, this may be the easiest way to obtain them.
4 Exalties?
You can also spend some tribute to re-roll the contents of the reward screen 1 time per instance if you'd like a new set of reward items to choose from.
Jesus.
Among the many other rewards you can choose from in Ritual are a special new set of Ritual base types. These are craftable items that have different implicit modifiers than Path of Exile's regular base types. Specifically, they have a strong upside combined with an accompanying downside.
This is so good.
If you
Yeah,
can
it's
create a
insane
build
for
that
leveling.
mitigates this drawback, then you can take advantage of the power of these items and craft them into something amazing.
It is insane.
For example, these Nexus gloves reduce your maximum mana, but have a chance of immediately refunding the mana spent to use a skill.
Okay.
If you can work around this restriction to your mana pool, you can periodically use skills
What
for
the
essentially
fuck,
no mana
bro?
cost.
What
Here are
the
2 other examples of ritual base types, the Penitent Mask and the Stormrider Boots.
Okay.
The Penitent Mask applies the Crush debuff to you, removing your physical damage protection. However, its upside is that it increases the effect of Fortify on you by quite a lot, reducing the damage you take from hits. There are many situations where this is a huge win, such as if you already have no armor or endurance charges. The Stormrider Boots reduce your accuracy rating but provide a huge added lightning damage boost to your attacks based on your accuracy rating.
Yeah, it does look like that.
If you have other sources of accuracy to rely on, then this is potentially a huge increase to the lightning damage you deal. In the endgame, you can obtain ritual vessels, which allow you to itemize the monsters from a ritual.
You know
can
it's a
place up
new
to 4
league because they
vessels in the map
changed the
device
image
alongside a map
of
to
maps.
add the monsters stored in those
Now they
vessels
look
to the
different
rituals
again.
present in the map. This increases both the difficulty and rewards of the rituals, as well as generating even more tribute to spend on those rewards.
Okay. Wow. This is really complex, man. Holy shit.
For example, because there's a chance of encountering a Headhunter or Mirror of Calandra as rewards, using ritual vessels increases the chances you'll be offered those items and allows you to afford them.
Jesus.
In addition, you can use these vessels to substantially increase monster density in maxed out maps that have mechanics like Beyond or Delirium present.
Wow.
Using vessels, you have control over the risk and reward of your hardest ritual encounters.
Makes sense.
Vessels are tradable both before and after they contain monsters. In addition to the new endgame content in the Ritual Challenge League, a large focus of the Echoes of the Atlas expansion is on its Ascendancy Classes. Path of Exile has 19 Ascendancy Classes, which let you specialize your character further than the base character classes allow. To unlock your Ascendancy class, you must find the Altar of Ascendancy at the end of the Lord's Labyrinth. In this expansion, we've rebalanced every one of these 19 classes and have significantly reworked 3 of them, the Elementalists, the Inquisitor, and the Deadeye. The aim of these changes is to redistribute and simplify power so that Ascendancy passive skills perform stronger single functions more effectively. Let's check some of them out.
That's insane.
The Elementalist has always been a good general Ascendancy class for many elemental builds.
Yeah, that's what almost everybody
really
goes.
in-depth build options. Now you can pick which elemental ailments to use for greater build customization, as well as providing more consistent power against tougher enemies.
Damn, dude.
The Elementalists can also protect themselves from a large amount of elemental damage.
Dude.
Bastion of Elements provides a significant defensive shield against elemental damage, which can be further improved by allocating more skills on your passive tree and Ascendancy tree. The Liege of the Primordial and Elemental skills focus on golem builds. Taking
This is
Liege
what I
of the
did last
Primordial
week.
now means that your golems are automatically resummoned 4 seconds after they die.
Yeah.
To make your golems immune to elemental damage, you'll now need to spec into Elementor as well as Liege of the Primordial.
This game seems harder than classic Frostmage.
Previously, the Shaper of Desolation skill forced you to improve both Shocking and Chilling, even if you didn't use both. We've now moved these benefits into their own branches, culminating in the Shaper of Flames, Winter, and Storm skills, allowing you to pick which ailments you improve.
So they expanded the Ascendancies.
Ignite, Chill, and Shock on any build.
Damn,
Mastermind of Discord no longer focuses on heralds and allows you to strip all elemental resistances from your enemies effectively. Pendulum of Destruction has been reworked as Heart of Destruction, providing more elemental damage or area of effect when you need them most. The Inquisitor has derived much of its power from its Inevitable Judgment skill, but the rest of the tree was fairly straightforward and lacked anything truly unique. After our changes in this expansion, many more of the Inquisitor
some of the
skills provide
Ascendancies kind of
significantly more
sucked.
offensive
They were
or
like
defensive
really
power,
boring.
while Instruments of Zeal opens up an entirely new and very unique
It's like you'd only pick
playstyle.
them for like one ability.
Let's have a look at some of the new Inquisitor Ascendancy skills.
Oh, McConnell's gonna be happy
Highest
about
Path
this.
no longer affects attack and cast speed.
Yeah,
and now allows you to
McConnell's gonna
double
be
the
happy about
potential
this. This is
recovery
what he
of
would
life
always do.
regeneration
They're
by having it
outdated.
apply
Yeah, it's
equally
true.
to Energy Shield. Sanctuary no longer provides mana, but now has a larger damage bonus from Consecrated Ground, up from 10% to 15%.
Wow.
Righteous Providence has been simplified a lot. It still focuses on critical strike chance, but it now scales it up by a percentage equivalent to either your strength or intelligence value, whichever one is lowest. It also provides
That's
plus
actually really
50
cool.
to both of these
I like that.
attributes, which is a huge benefit in multiple ways. You will definitely want lots of both attributes.
Okay.
Instruments of
sense.
Virtue has been simplified and made more powerful. Its benefits no longer strictly apply if you've cast a spell or attacked recently, but it now grants 10% more attack damage for each non-instant spell you've cast recently, up to a maximum of 30%.
Jesus.
It also grants Battle Mage, which causes you to gain added spell damage equal to the damage of your main hand weapon. This provides a lot of new hybrid spellcaster melee build possibilities.
They really spent a lot of time developing this game.
You can combine instruments
Holy
of virtue
shit.
with the new instruments of zeal.
This is
Ascendancy
complex.
Classes. This introduces a
God
concept
damn.
of fanaticism, which causes spells you cast yourself to have 75% more cast speed, reduced mana cost, and increased area of effect. Fanaticism is gained by using attacks regularly, giving huge bonuses for weaving attacking and
It's very
spellcasting
complex.
together. Historically, the Deadeye Ascendancy was the best place to find a variety of strong projectile-based effects.
Yeah, it was really good.
But over time, more of these effects have shown up on items, and the Deadeye has lost much of what made it unique. We've brought the uniqueness back to this Ascendancy with a variety of new mechanics that enable new ways to build and play ranges. Let's have a look at the new Deadeye Ascendancy skills.
Jesus.
Far Shot now deals
They,
60%
like, doubled the
more
amount.
damage to enemies far away from you, which is up from 30% before, but
Wow.
now also deals 20% less damage to enemies that are close.
Look at that,
It no
dude.
longer has a projectile speed bonus, but now removes the spread from your barrages.
It used to have like
This
only
additional
4.
damage rewards Deadeyes who can keep their distance from their targets. Previously, Ricochet caused your projectiles to chain an additional time
stole
and granted
D2's idea.
10% more
It's a good
damage
idea.
for each remaining chain. The new Ricochet allows your projectiles to both chain an additional time and have a chance to chain off walls and terrain.
Okay.
Endless Munitions has been simplified to offer 2 additional projectiles rather than 1 additional projectile and some other minor bonuses. This skill is accessible behind 3 of the Deadeye's paths, making it an option for many different Deadeye builds. Occupying Force is a new skill that benefits Mirage Archers by granting you additional
That
ones and
sounds
allowing you to be
really,
separate
really
from
fucking good. Holy shit.
Gathering Winds now
That's
always
ridiculous.
grants Tailwind to permanently boost your speed, and the increase to Tailwind effect per skill used
gives
is
it to
now given by
everybody.
the Gale Force buff. Wind Ward enhances the Gathering Winds passive by making Gale Force a lot more effective, with the drawback of losing all Gale Force if you're hit. If you can stay out of the fray, this potentially makes your character even more potent.
Wow. Because you can't
The
get
Rupture
one
skill
shot. That's what
previously
it's
helped
for.
Critical Strike bleed builds.
This is too
It's been renamed
complex.
to Rupture
Yeah.
Ring and has been
Yeah,
simplified
this is a
while
free
being made
game,
more
by the way.
powerful.
Free game.
Critical strikes that inflict bleeding now also inflict Rupture, which causes bleeding enemies to lose more life, but their bleed expires more quickly. Focal Point is a new skill which improves the effect of mark skills that were made more powerful in our recent heist expansion. It increases the effect of your marks by 75% and makes surrounding enemies
It's
deal
free.
less
Yeah,
damage
yeah.
to you.
I mean, obviously there's microtransactions, but like, you can
As
technically
you
play
have
the game
seen,
for
the
free.
Elementalist, Inquisitor, and
I'm
Deadeye
fine
have
with that,
undergone some
personally.
major changes in this expansion. We have also improved the other 16 Ascendancy classes and will show you some of the changes to the Slayer to demonstrate what you can expect.
Okay.
Some Slayer effects were much stronger than others, limiting build choice. We've now provided more power spread out over a wider selection of passives, while allowing easier access to the Slayer's special leech mechanic. Brutal Fervor and Endless Hunger
Wow.
have switched places on their
So
Ascendancy
they've got a lot
branch
of
so
this.
that
Isn't
life
it
leech is more
cosmetics only?
accessible
No,
and
it's
can be
also
further
like just
improved by
quality of
staking
life
into
stuff.
Endless Hunger.
A lot of it's quality of life.
Masterful Form still causes you to have endurance charges equal to the number of frenzy charges you have, but now grants an additional frenzy charge instead of increasing endurance and frenzy charge duration.
That's just obviously better. Like
Overwhelm's
1,000 times
base
better.
critical strike chance for attacks with weapons has been increased. Hopefully you now have a good idea of the scope of changes that we have made to the
Yeah,
19
they've
Ascendancy
basically
classes.
redone
While the
everything.
biggest changes to
Holy
the 3 we're
shit.
heavily revamping, the Elementalist, Inquisitor, and Deadeye, all of the others have received at least numeric attention also.
Wow.
We believe that the new design philosophy for Ascendancy passives makes them easier to understand and that they are a more concentrated source of power. We look forward to revealing the rest of the changes next week.
Jesus, dude.
Like with improving Ascendancy classes, adding new skills
I want to
and
see what
support
the new
gems to Path
abilities
of
are,
Exile
and then
helps
we're going to
create
go
new
and do the
ways to
mount
play.
ones.
In Echoes of the Atlas, we've
I think
introduced
this is
2
the
new
last
gems
important
that provide
part.
versatile ways for you to build powerful new characters. These are the Hydrosphere Skill Gem and the Trinity Support Gem.
What is this?
First, let's have a look at Hydrosphere. This skill summons a huge sphere of water that you can move around to crush enemies. While it is active, you can apply cold or lightning ailments to it. It will then pulse for
I
a
don't know if I'd
duration,
wanna use
afflicting
this one
nearby
or not.
enemies with damage matching that ailment. This player is applying
Yeah,
freeze
I don't
to the
know. What do you
Hydrosphere
guys
with
think?
freezing pulse, and that causes it to repeatedly damage surrounding enemies with cold damage. Here's the gem hover for Hydrosphere. This skill gem can be acquired from level 34 and can be supported with spell, area of effect, duration, cold, orb, lightning, and physical support gems. It pulses every 0.4 seconds while an ailment is applied to it. It
Yeah,
also
I
converts
don't know
its
if I'd
physical
use
damage
this
to
one.
cold or lightning
It's
damage
cool,
based
though.
on what ailments are on it.
I'm
The
sure some
Trinity
people
support
like
gem is
that.
designed to support builds that deal multiple types of elemental damage.
Okay.
While Trinity supports your skill, any hits that deal damage with a specific element will build resonance with the other 2 elements. The more resonance you have
okay.
with every element, the more
Diablo
damage the
3 had
Trinity
a
support
mechanic
gem
like this
provides.
too, I think.
When you have high resonance with all three elements,
Yeah.
Trinity also grants elemental penetration. Here you can see the player using Ball Lightning with Unleash and Magma Orb to build resonance across all three elements. To power up the Trinity support gem quickly and uniformly, the player alternates between pairs of elemental damage types. Combined with the elemental weakness curse, the maximum resonance Trinity absolutely decimates enemies. In addition to introducing the two entirely
Righteous
new gems
Fire.
we described,
This
we've
is
done
me.
an extensive balance pass on other skills. We have buffed over 40 existing gems, including skills such as Scorching Ray,
This is it.
Seismic Trap, Firestorm, Venom Gyre,
Righteous Fire?
Static Strike, Kinetic Bolt, Crackling Lance, Lightning Strike, Shrapnel Ballista, and Artillery Ballista. Full details will be
Come
available in the
on.
patch notes next week so that you can plan your perfect build.
I thought it was gonna be Righteous Fire. Fuck, man.
As well as introducing and rebalancing skills, another
Shit,
important aspect
dude.
of keeping the metagame fresh in a Path of Exile expansion
even
is
die in this
adding
game?
new unique
Oh, yeah.
items to discover and build characters around. Unlike most items you find in Path of Exile that are randomly generated, unique items are extremely rare ones that our design team have hand-created to offer new build opportunities. Echoes of the Atlas introduces 10 new unique items, some of which are exclusive to its new endgame encounters. Let's have a look at a few. These are some unique worm-scale boots called Legacy of Fury. They place scorched ground as you travel, which applies the scorch element to enemies standing in it. When scorched enemies die, they have a chance to set fire to surrounding enemies, dealing a percentage of the slain enemy's life over time. These boots create an interesting and new way to support your build with fire damage.
That's actually cool.
This is a new unique
like the
amethyst
chest
ring
piece.
called Black Flame,
Yeah.
which is themed around fire and chaos
Yeah,
damage.
explodey boots,
Its
exactly.
headline effect is that your ignites now deal chaos damage, along with a cool new chaos ignited effect on monsters. Also, if you ignite a withered enemy while wearing Black Flame, the wither will no longer expire, and you can build up to its maximum of 15 stacks.
This game is
if the
so
enemy survives long
complex.
enough, that
Like,
is.
you guys have no idea.
Along with its various other benefits,
Like,
this
I probably
unique
only
ring
know like
ignites
10%
a
of
few
what
new
this
ways
game
of
has to
playing fire and
offer.
chaos damage
That's how
characters.
insane it is.
These new Zealot gloves are called Hand of the Fervent and create an interesting interaction between physical damage and the mana cost of skills.
Okay.
The unique ability of these gloves happens whenever you use a skill. They grant an effect called Sacrificial Zeal, which both adds a quarter of the skill's mana cost to spell physical damage, but also hurts you, to the tune of 150% of the skill's mana cost over 4 seconds.
Okay.
They also reduce your enemy's physical
You're
damage
in the game
reduction.
over seasons. Yeah, exactly.
When
Yeah,
we have
you just
time
get
during
good
the
at one
expansion's
thing.
development, we try to identify past leagues that can be integrated into the core game as optional side content, with a few improvements. This expansion contains 2 such leagues. Last year, we released the Harvest League, which allowed you to grow a garden of monsters, fight them, and then use their lifeblood to craft your items
I never
in
did this
powerful
league.
ways.
I heard it was really good
Watching
for
this league
crafting, though.
unfold made us realize 2 things.
Yeah.
Firstly, the crafting options were so powerful and so easily accessible that players had unprecedented access to almost everything they wanted very quickly.
Exactly.
Secondly,
That's what I've
even
heard.
the players
I
who
didn't
did
play it,
enjoy
though.
the mechanics of growing their own garden would probably find it boring if that was something they had to do every single league.
Somebody just
When
joined their
deciding
Discord
how to
channel.
integrate Harvest into the core game, we knew that we had to curtail crafting somehow, but we didn't want to just do this by nerfing it a lot. We needed a smarter solution that still allowed players to
They're
earn
getting
and
ready
perform
for the
powerful
podcast
crafting.
thing, but they're not
We
aware of
also
it.
knew that we didn't want
Is it
players
too
to have to
bright
grow and
behind
manage
me?
their own gardens every
They don't
league.
know.
So let's check out how Harvest works as part of the core game in Echoes of the Atlas. In Echoes of the Atlas, as you play through maps,
God,
rather than
dude.
finding a seed
Hi,
cache,
guys,
you now
hey.
encounter a portal to the Sacred Grove. But it's not your own Sacred Grove, it's an established one that is a full complement of plants ready to harvest, fight, and craft with.
That's
The
cool.
grove contains several pairs of harvests to choose between, each displaying
I
the
never
details
figured
of the
any
fight
of
and the
this shit out,
corresponding
man. I'm
crafting
gonna be
options.
honest.
You can only pick one
Yeah.
of each pair, so
It is
carefully
so
choose
fucking
which crafting
complicated.
options are best for you, defeat the monsters, and use their life force to perform the crafts.
Okay.
If you're strong enough to kill the monsters, each grove represents quite a lot of crafting opportunities, and you can save up to 10 crafts for later use at the Hoarder crafting station, which is now available in your hideout.
I'm excited about
We
this.
like
I
this
kind of want to
compromise
try it
because
out
it keeps
this
the
time.
exciting elements
Yeah,
of harvest,
I want to try it out.
fighting, and crafting, and drops the part that got old quickly: seed management
that,
and
dude.
garden planning.
Look at that, dude.
We're also integrating the Heist League into the core game as
Okay,
optional
this should be
content
the
with a
last
few
part of it.
improvements. In Heist, players travel to the Rogue Harbor to hire a crew of thieves to
A
help
lot of
them
people
plan
didn't
and
like
execute
this part,
risky
though.
heists, working towards a thief's
Torghast?
ultimate
Yeah, we're
goal,
gonna do it after
pulling off
this.
a grand heist. In the Echoes of the Atlas expansion, heist contracts drop from Act 6 onwards. Rogues level up their skills faster from completing heists, markers drop with higher stack sizes, and quest contracts are now dropped for you at the next smuggler's cache as soon as that quest is available. One great aspect of heists is that all of its progress items are tradable, so if you're focusing on other content, you can trade away your contracts until you're ready to go on some heists. So we've covered most of the big features of Echoes of the Atlas so far.
This is the shit that you can buy.
Patch notes in a few days where we will detail
hopefully they
other
have some
changes
good
that
stuff.
didn't make it into this presentation. Soon we'll move on to the Q&A about
Alright, here
today's
we go.
announcements.
Microtransactions.
First, let's have a quick look at the new supporter
Let's
packs
see.
that are available right now to celebrate the Echoes of the Atlas expansion and the Ritual Challenge League, and to help fund the ongoing development of Path of Exile.
Alright, let's see it.
The Faithsworn and Renegade supporter packs come with masses of points to spend in the store,
I don't know
social
if that
frames,
armor-
forum titles and badges, a download of the digital soundtrack, and of course exclusive cosmetic microtransactions
That's cool.
such as armor sets and character
Yeah, I like
effects.
that. That's pretty cool.
The Renegade
Alright.
series has an exclusive pet, and the Faithsworn series an exclusive portal effect.
There
Each
it
series
is.
has 2 packs, and the smaller packs can
Yeah,
be
this it's
upgraded
only
to their respective
$500,
larger
guys.
packs at any time while they are still on sale.
Yeah.
These are, of course, in addition to the new core packs that we released a couple of weeks ago.
That one
Remember
actually
to
does
check
look
those
really
out if you
badass.
haven't already.
I like the blue one.
Thanks so much for your support.
Okay.
As you know, purchases of these packs are what fund ongoing
I'm
development.
excited
of Path
about
of
the
Exile,
game. I'm
its
thinking I'm gonna play this
expansion, and
league.
its sequel.
I'm pretty sure I will.
Speaking of Path of Exile 2, we know you're
Explain
keen for
that
an
it's
update.
cosmetic?
While
Yeah, it's
today is
cosmetic.
all about Path of Exile and Echoes of the Atlas, we have plenty of
Yeah,
Path
it's
of
cosmetic.
Exile 2 and Path of Exile
That's how it
mobile
works.
updates planned for you this year, which will start sooner than you think. Our team have been creating some amazing stuff, and we can't wait to reveal it to you.
That's pretty cool,
So
man.
I'm sure you have a bunch of burning questions about Echoes of the
I'm
Atlas.
not gonna go through the
Stay
whole
tuned as
Q&A.
we're joined by
We're gonna
Ziggy
get
D,
ready
who will
and
be
do
hosting a Q&A
tour
with me
guest.
based on your questions from Twitch
I'll do
chat.
that real soon. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pause this real quick, and then we'll move on. What do you guys think? You guys excited about it or what? I guess like for me, like I really I think I am excited about this one. Like the expansions, like the last expansion, Conquerors of the Atlas, was pretty fucking good. So I'm hoping that this one will be too, but I think we'll have to just wait and find out. Who the hell knows? I didn't understand no shit. Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't get it, but the game takes a long time to really understand and figure out. And I kind of understand how people would be really lost or like not want to get into the game because of how complex it is. Tried PoE for about a month or two ago. I enjoyed it, but I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Yeah, there's people that have played it for a year and have the same exact experience, man. Don't worry about it. It's the same for almost everybody, man.